I don't lead you, Iffy. You lead yourself, and you're nomads. So stand alone, and you don't ever sit down at my table, mile long table. My dad's my dad. He doesn't need to know the particulars of the sit down. Does that make sense? That'd be a bit of a conundrum. And there's no particulars to that sit down because picture a mile long table in in a in a cave, and there's one lamp. There's one lamp, and it's over where me and my dad are. He's sitting there, he's standing there, he's sitting there, he's standing there. Well, he doesn't have to hear about it, and he doesn't have to know about it. His dad, he doesn't know about that kind of. I'm just thinking to myself if he knows about it, but I haven't showed him this one yet. He's been in for a surprise. I should re-detail that because nobody knows, and I haven't told my dad yet. And the picture a mile long, like a cave. I'm a little bit of a. I like Diablo 2, so I was using that. And I like Diablo 1. I read it, I played it before September 11th. We just got on Windows 95. And so I was just thinking, I was thinking to myself, if he should shut his fucking mind off. I'm not the top police, but he's an organized criminal, so top police don't exist. They don't, and they're not gonna. But if there's ever a telekinetic hostage situation going on, I'm not hostage. And the ones that haven't cared for me from getting to know me, and you know, these are great men, and they go by what the higher ups and you know different things. You know, this cat is making me upset, but I gotta go get some. He's not making me upset. It's just Clifford Coffin is iffy. Okay, and he's picture a mile long table in a cave, and I have one lantern above, kind of to my head, maybe two, one over there, one over there. Dad can sit down and listen if he wants. It's up to him because I'm not telling him what to do. Because he's done his work as a organized criminal. I think what happened in Cornell is when he had enough of Iffy and just doesn't do what he says. And well, Dad had a backup plan without having one, and it was me. And a mile long table, and Iffy's in the corner. He's not even at the table. He's at the corner, tucked away in the corner, and then Tony Idol is at the other corner, tucked away in the corner, and he hasn't been bothered telekinetically by me. So, and the telekinetics doesn't work, and during the telekinetics doesn't work. So this mile long table, and it's made of stone and wood and whatever we could muster. And well, they don't have any light. Tony has a lighter, and he can use it when he needs to. You know, maybe have a smoke, or maybe he has a beer or something there, or whatever he drinks. And over with Iffy there, Chris is on his knee. Chris Gregoire's on his knee, and Jason Robertson stands beside him because that's their trifecta there. That's for them, and they're standing in the dark. And there's entrances in this cave, and there's full ground mountain lion walking around. And Simba, he's not worried by it. And this one here, he's just starting to learn my ways, and he's a grumpy one. But because I'm a Leo, 22nd, and there's a full grown mountain lion in the room. Dad's a Leo, 18. I'm 188 centimeters tall, 36 waist. I got a black beard and a blonde hair. Maybe I'm Lucifer, maybe I'm Blackbeard the pirate. Maybe I'm just a unique person. And I can sell the fact that I'm Cody Hayden. And the prophecies are true. That this mountain lion is walking around, he hasn't been fed. I ain't feeding him. He ain't eating Iffy and those for two. Tony you might consider because Tony's not all that bad, but he doesn't see it this way. And he's found best manner just now, maybe. Or you know about it. Well, it doesn't matter because the mountain lion's in there, and he's going to try and fight me, but he knows not to take his claws out, and he can't chew on me. So if he's going to get food out anyway, he's not eating Dad because he wouldn't eat Dad. Tony's probably his only option because the two cats. That's funny because I see people must drop off kittens on the highway. Because, between me and Corey, she takes care of the kittens because I see them come out of the bush there. I don't go in the bush looking for them, but I know the big cats are, you know. But I ran into a big cat right there, and I know broken record, but I ran into a big cat like right there by the hydro lines where they did the work there. When I was walking down there after the Queen Pass, I had my shoes on and I had my samurai sword and I was drinking a little bit, and I was going down the creek just for something to do. And well, that wasn't a great idea at that time because was 2022 in November or October, and before I went to gig, before I went to floor 6. Sorry, it's just the habit. I went to floor 6, and I was there for 3 weeks or so, and before I went in there, and I was just having some drinks. I wasn't really too. I was just at that time I wasn't sure who was using internet surveillance against me, because now I have an idea, and now others have an idea, and who knows what. And who knows? Now that I'm filming again, they can't really hack me because I'm online. And remember when is what Tone said was bad, because that's Tone Soprano. He was under RICO investigation. He hadn't been indicted yet, or he was on the run. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. And the last box set I haven't watched yet, so I'm not sure what happened. I saved that for later. I've been busy. And but this mountain lion, he's not declawed, and he's hungry, and he's not a roaring lion. He's a roaring. Well, he'd be a roaring mountain lion, and he's not a cougar, because a group of cougars is still a feared thing. That'd be like the moms of the hockey sons. But to me, cougar could be male or female, I guess. But pretty sure a mountain lion is a male and a cougar is a female. I think a group of cougars is no joke, and it's just how I think of it. Maybe it's not that way. I don't know. But and hockey's like the area where Pat Haynes gets his influences. I don't think it is. I think somebody else in Camas area. I mean, maybe he's retired here. He's not a Doug from Kelowna, who I met once. And Dad wasn't home, and Mum was here, and he was here, and he taught me one lesson, and that was because it was a good lesson. And I wasn't bothered by him. He drove a four-door blue car, and Dad didn't know that. And he was just here to show me that he cared, and that he wasn't going to be a problem. Because something me and Dad couldn't figure out about Pat Haynes, and me and my dad don't like him much, and he's worth a cold 100 million, 150 million, right, somewhere in there, depending on the markets and how much he's spending to try and buy favor. And Pat Haynes isn't in the cave. He's not welcome, and he's in Kelowna. I don't do crime out there, so I don't, never have, nothing, not one thing. I haven't done any crimes other than small bag dope dealing since 2011. That was just a little fight in the park, and no kids were bearmans. And me and Curtis get along fine now, as far as I know, and everything's good there. And some people, this mile long sit down, mile long table, it exists. It's just I'm at arm's reach from anybody, because this is how we do it. And we could sit down and have a meal and not talk business. And I don't talk business with people. I just talk on here, and it's not all fiction, it's finest. And but if he's there in the corner with Chris on his knee, because it's dark, he doesn't have a light. JR's standing beside him, and there's no light in that corner. And there's not the roaring lion that's in the Bible. That would represent the devil. I ain't the devil. And well, I played Diablo 1, and this is right around time, September 11th. And this is a game about going down to into hell, or what would look like hell. And it was a great game. I liked the first one the best. And I look at myself too much. I'm going cross-eyed, and I should be hanging out with other people, because when you look at someone, you look at both eyes, and it keeps your eyes straight. And trying to not look. I'm in defense mode because I think I might get extradited, so I'm trying to look like so I'm not trying to do it. It's just me looking at myself too much. I like to keep an eye on myself, make sure I haven't done evil. I haven't. There's good men around that haven't done evil at all. And if he's gone a form of ignorant evil, that he just doesn't know what he's into, and he thinks that he's going to do these things to me, and he's not going to get in shit for it. So he can hear my voice, like I'm right beside him, because it's a cave, and sound is, and there's a cougar there. No, the cougars are somewhere else in the cave system, and probably somewhere deep below Mountain, and they'll never get them all. They'll never get them. See, there's a thing called fear when there's a mountain lion den. If hunters and dogs don't go near it, they try and tree one, and they don't go near it, because they know it's fear. Because if you go into a cave with a mountain lion, and it's dark and you don't have a flashlight, well, you ain't an alpha anymore. You got a full automatic off. You're scared shitless, and that's Ghost and the Darkness, because that's when, in this movie when Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas went into the cave, and that's a great movie. And Ghost in the Darkness would be like me and my brother Brett. or a couple other brothers, or a couple other brothers, or a couple other brothers. And they look at it. But I still know one thing. I know one thing about a nickname that nobody knows who it is. And, well, they're not in case, they're not in case system. Because I'm on Monty Creek, Monty Lake, or Monty Hills. I seen it on a map. And, I know Ralph was looking for a Caesar up here. Because I found him a Caesar. It's in Merritt, the tin can. He must have missed his drink because Ralph would have been at Eastcom, Westcom, and he would have been looking for Caesar. Well, Caesar, the Roman Republic ended in sometime in the 600s, I think, or 700s, and he would have been looking for Caesar. I think Ralph is going to see now because Dad, my name, I only said it once to Jamie Bell was on the jail phone. He called me. This was when I was maybe 18, right after Christmas popped. So he called me and he wanted to sign out his phone to me because he did want to. And I never got the phone. It was 574-1847 and 572 and 250. And Jamie doesn't like me anymore, but he's getting shit from the neo-Nazi side, and that's Jason R. And Jason R's, he's there in the corner, and they don't get to say anything. They can scream and yell. They don't want to say anything because the mountain lion isn't very happy. He hasn't had his meal on Tony. Tony's the only one because he knows I'll fight, and he can't kill me because he loves me too much, and he won't kill Dad because he's loyal too. And he knows this one. This one, he's not going to kill one of his own because the kittens that people drop off on the side of the highway, they know someone's taking care of them up here. And Corey nurses them up and takes them in, and SPCA deals with them. They get them a home. I don't know who's dropping cats off, but they always wander around on the highway. I see them off the side of the road. I've seen it 3 times. And Simba is opposite. He goes in the bush there. And the big cats around here are very friendly. But this one I ran into. I was going down there walking with my family sword. And it's dull. And there's a point on it. And I heard the mountain lion charge. So the mountain lion was set. His feet tried to make him sound like a coyote. He tried to go very light. He was very smart. And he charged, but it was right behind the fence line. He must have, the fence was there because they can jump a fence like nothing. It's very rare to find a mountain lion at night. And I heard him. I turned towards him. And then he stopped. And I stopped. I didn't move it for I don't know how long it was. And there was a silence. And Steve might have remembered hearing this. And he might not have been there for it, but it happened. And I had to turn tail. I couldn't have kept walking to the creek because I would have been in his territory or his natural environment. And they were here before humans were, like before roads and stuff were. So I had to tuck tail and go back over the fence, and he'd watch me because I couldn't see him. It was right out of eyesight, and I can see well at night. I didn't have a flashlight on me. And I was going to walk down there because of the open, kind of no clouds. And, well, I'm still mad at him. And, he's a big cat, and he's probably stronger and more powerful than he was today. And they're poaching him, Derek and Ben. They are. I know they are. I know how those two are because they said they shouldn't. They poach him anyways. They're doing it for hides. And you guys are caught. So you guys want any more trouble from conservation officers, or you haven't been pulled over yet? So you guys are caught, and I'm, telling you guys because you want the other form of discipline, you want a shit kicking. Derek, how's your leg? You need another one of those? He accidentally broke his leg at Ron Boucher's house, just up the road. Happened. He was picking on me. He wanted to fight. See, these guys they always want to fight with me. And this is where I settle all beef because they don't want to fight. And I'll pick it up. Now they have a problem, but it's nothing that needs to. They're how things are in damage control now. Because what do you think? I was just talking I was going insane. All this logical talking. Well, it's fiction at its finest, man, and it's entertainment sector. So I better tell the story of, at first there was a man that was failed drug dealer who was divorced or separated, and that's in the beginning because I'm a failed drug dealer, and I haven't accumulated any wealth, any properties, and me and friends and family, or family because in mafia, but family is mafia first. That's just how it is. So I'm the young one, a young buck, kind of out on his own, and I'd have to take a bullet for damn near any of them, except unless there's younger ones than me. I might be one of the youngest ones on the planet because they just don't let in the young guys until they get older. They're just part of the, they work for a family or work for a mafia. Sorry, because not everyone's family. Some people are enemies. It's different, and not everyone's related by blood. And then siblings and relatives and different things. But Hayden family business pertains to just me, and Dad is protected by it, and so is Mom. And we've had our close group here because our family here, like because Mom doesn't even know she hasn't found this yet. So, and it's a real thing, and Dad can be proud. I've been busy out here. I haven't been talking to myself. I've been streaming. And I got a good fix in because government hasn't seen us yet. And as far as I know, I'm not going to be extradited because I haven't been messing with the boat. Not lately. Because last time when I ran as like a grandfatherly figure kind of to his, I'm sure to his family. But when he got into office, that was one heck of a thing. And I stood beside somebody then. But now I'm upset that he's not going anything before. But I mean, can he retire in peace? Well, he might be busy looking at Cold War criminals. And maybe he is. I don't know that for a fact. But I mean, this is an interesting concept. And Valdick would be, well, probably top of the list. And Valdick's the man where I was married at his house. Well, he's a Cold War criminal, in my opinion. And, well, the Cold War was a war. It wasn't a hot war, but it was a Cold War. And someone explained to me why it wasn't a lukewarm war or a really Cold War. Because there's a silent one going on in a silent battle. And it's got something to do with the Americans and the Chinese, and I haven't sunk my teeth in that yet. I don't know anything about it. Something to do with the Invisible Hand, the book, and then the Middle Kingdom, the books. These are just book titles, and they're great authors. And I read both of them front to back. And I'm still upset about my laptop that was taken from me from Kyla when she took the Toyota for a drive. And well, she was wounded, and I thought she was going gangrenous, so I hopped out of the car to call the paramedics or the ambulance to meet him somewhere. And well, she just locked the door and took off with Marshall in the back. And Marshall, dear Marshall, we hadn't known each other for that long. That was in 2022, 2023, and right at the beginning of the year. And me and him are very close friends. We're friends, and we'd be more like damn near family. Well, I don't get out to Vernon very often, so that was on Christmas Eve 2021 when I decided to go. I know Christmas Eve. I decided to go to Vernon instead of Kamloops. And the RCMP out there is still trying to figure out if they're going to shake me down or not, or if they've seen any Hollywood movies, any scenes like that before. And maybe not quite like that, but I know they're clean out there. There's no dirty cops in it. The Freemasons are probably sure of it now too. Everybody else knows. The Vernon RCMP are. They're perfect as they are. And I wasn't spreading no rumors about them out in Kamloops because well, it wasn't me. And as far as I know, they're always good. And well, after that, and then you got the bikers out there. Which ones? Well, who knows? I heard they got the Greeks out there too. I never met any of them. I might know someone called Saul the Greek, and he still owes me. I forgive him, and I don't think he's found us yet. And he only owes me $2,000 or so. But he found Jason R. I mean, that's where he gets his pot list. He doesn't put the neo-Nazi stuff in there. And Jason R. is in the corner. They're standing alone, and Mountain Line's getting hungry. And he's not eating Chris, Jason R. or if you consider murderers. And they're into weird shit, trying to make me scared, and that don't work. There's how to get shirt around here. The one with animated. And that was a good shirt. That was a good concept. And I need to find it's just a little bit of kind of probably living with the cats. Not cleaning up after. And look at this. Cool, eh? It's meant for content creation. There's even a bottle opener on there. Look at this. Amazing what you find at the in the store. It's good fish filler. And if you want to find that out, because Rudy still taught me how to throw a hook. I didn't throw one big one on him, but it was nice. And Rudy's still with us. And well, I know somebody that would kick my ass. I never trained in the fight, so I'm getting a little too old for that now. I know there's competition in town because there's another boxing club, different colors on the side on the wall, and that's because one's on the ground, the other's on Seymour, and there's one even open. I never seen anything on the back door. That was my favorite laundromat. Did anyone think to ask me? Think to ask? Well, they shut it down on itself. Where are people going to do laundry? Innocent, but I'm never sure. Well, it's expensive on the laundromat. Hydro bill, and it's very expensive. And well, one family is doing the best they can, and I know somebody on the North Shore one. I know of his big brother, and well, they're good men. And I forgot what's his name? I can't remember. I won't say it. But his big brother's a good man. I know his name, and it's something like that. And where's that one? One and two. And it's good. Pleasure to meet you. And well, it's fiction at finest, and and everything's quieted down because there's something called a big one, and it's my dad doesn't know, but it's just fiction at finest. I have to tell him in person. He won't believe it because I've been talking shit all these lately, and I asked him where my blue bag went, and I think somebody did steal it, and they were just trying to make us kind of you know go. We hate each other, so he kicked me off the property so they could just have me crawl back to Baldic. And Baldic's watching, but he's not part of this room at all. He's not in the cave. And if he's outside the cave wanting to come in, the mountain lion's heading his way now. And he doesn't have a gun, and he's gonna get scared and run. He ain't running that thing. So, and it's not a thing. It's a human, not a human, but it's a life force. It's a animal. It's very important. It's very very important here. And Ben and Derek get back on a horse, and Mr. Slim Strike did not appreciate his horse being shot. He left the horse there for a long time because he wanted to know who did it. He's passed, but people still need to know, and you don't get to get away with that. And Brandon Hine overdosed with Derek Erickson, beyond the guarantee. Sean Johannesburg, I believe is her last name, overdosed with Derek Erickson, damn near guaranteed. Can't prove it. And Steve Barnes. I don't know who he was with that night, but that might have been the first car fentanyl overdose in Camas, going back to 2011, I believe. And fentanyl crisis has been horrible, and they're still at it because they won't let me in the fentanyl business anymore. And they don't have a fucking choice because they don't know who I know. And this mile long table, it's a dark room, there's one torch. I can smell that fucking mountain lion, and he ain't coming over here to do anything but fight me. And he won't kill me because he loves me too much. And still was raised out here, and I've always walked in the bush without a gun. And this happened in 2022 when I squared up with him. Well, he didn't charge me. I turned towards him. I had to. I didn't. It was just an instinct. And I don't remember being scared. It was a great moment, one of the greatest moments of my life. And I was almost hit by a train once. That was close. And that was a rush. But I never get really scared too much. And well, then there's a brown bear from, I think it was called Monty Mountain, and that's the top peak of it right there. And some people might not know. And who goes to the top of Monty Mountain? Some people might think it's where the radio tower is. It's not. Some people don't know where the mountain is. It's that one there. And there's two trees up there, and they crossed. And I think there's a sign there that maybe Corey made it up there. Maybe she did. Maybe she's waiting for one of her sons to walk up there and take a picture. Or I'll take a picture next time I walk up there. Steve will have to go with me because he's got to bring his gun because there's a brown bear up there, and there's a den up there. And I was up there for my last time I was up there for a hike, and I go up there without a gun because I just always have, always. I never walked in the bush with a gun ever because my dad won't allow me. I'm not legally allowed, so I shouldn't hike. But I gotta hike because I enjoy it. But on that day there was a white Ford, and he came in about 5 minutes too late because I was 60 or 70 or 80 meters up the Monty Mountain, and he was down on right over the cattle garden looking for me because he was going to kill me. I was thinking about it, and or just trying to scare me for bad hands because one of his strikers, and or it was a nomad, and because it's a $15,000 hit on my head, and whoop de fucking do, and this fucker was bigger, and then but he was looking right down to the access road that went to Ron Boucher's house, and I knew it was coming. I seen him through the trees. I just laid down. I laid down on my back on the hill with with the trees on the ground, just so he couldn't see me. And I watched him the whole time. But if I had semi-automatic, he would have been dead. I would have took the engine block first, and then I would let him try and fight me because he might have been a better shot than me. But I just hit him with burst fire right to the door, and then he would have been fucked. We would have just let him bleed out me and that bear, and I wouldn't have been very. It would have. It was quite a ways away, but depending on the caliber and the range, nobody would have heard it because a couple of shots, and they had to be heavy caliber to get the engine block. But so something like that would be suspicious. But he was up there with his rifle off the highway, and something about Tanner, me and him couldn't figure out. He's a gang in his own self, and so am I. And he's probably watching. That's just an inside joke, but he's not. He's not a gang. He's probably doing concrete work and doing what his uncle thinks is best. And his uncle I met once, but we didn't say anything. And as far as I know, at that bar, that table's reserved, and at least for tonight. And it better be. And there's a mile-long table, and they're not there either because they don't want to be in a cave with a fucking mountain lion. And well, they have their own table down there, and that's Wally. And I was there once. Well, my dad should know, and I said nothing. I just didn't want to be known as a patch licker. And if he's inland, and he's inland 350 km, not miles, that'd be more like Revelstoke or further than that. It'd be more like Golden or something like that. So we're golden out there, me and Dad. We got a good reputation. We got good connection. And he doesn't have to do a goddamn thing if he says. He just wants him to come over here to kill me, or he's waiting for me to be put in jail. There's no evidence for me to be put in jail. There's nothing. I do content creation, and if maybe there's no evidence on you, but you can't do what you're doing in Canvas anymore because you're found out. People are sick of you, and they love dealing with me. So, and I'm not stopping before I have my small line. And basically, Steve, Adam, and Valdick owe me an apology, and they can give me my phones back because they can get it from Nathan, or Chris has it, and Chris can get all those phones and bring them to me. I won't punch him out, and that'll be hard to do, but it'll be maybe go time. He's gonna have to bear that on his own 2 feet because as long as he doesn't bring his gun, he's been in and out here doing whatever the fuck he wants. And Dad's a senior person, and there's the switch that I'm not scared of the Nomads. The Nomads aren't here to police me. They police Hell's Angels. And Chris, you can get my phones, and you can do that on your own. Because I'm not leading the Nomads. If he's the leader, and he's got a few guys that don't like him anymore, and Dad don't like him no more. And I know a couple other guys are very pissed off with him because the way he acts and the way he does things. And I caught him trying to be, well, he's an American, and this is Canada, and hired men from Ottawa are here, and they're not taking your shit. And well, so that's the bottom line. And I'm not trying to get in the way of anything, but if you got a job to do, maybe you should do it properly and stop trying to harass people in Canada for buying dope off me. And I'm going home to see Simba. I'm going to bed early. Yeah, I just seen this. There's a lot of videos and I had to fix that definition first. You might have seen it, but there's some coding up here. And so I don't know coding very well. I could probably learn that, but there's no fucking way now. I'm not trying to learn that. This is what I'm saying. When Dad remember my room, and he might have checked on it when I was at school or something, but he probably didn't do that. Gave me my privacy as he does out here. My mom has it too, which is nice. But in 2021, she was in here down a little bit. But I didn't mind because I knew it was his mom, and she was having a good. That's when she had wine that summer. She's doing really good that summer. She's working at the inn, and nobody knows, Mom. Nobody knows, and I didn't mind because it was. But then that winter, when I asked her if she wanted to go, I was just messing with her because I was working online already. This is when I didn't know who was listening on internet surveillance. Because internet surveillance is very unique because you never know. Encrypted signals and different this and that. And well, I did. She called the cops, and they took me away the cavalry ride, and well, they took me to floor 6, and it was better in jail. So. And my mother's wonderful, and she's been through a lot. She doesn't deserve any. She just didn't know what's on here. I've been talking on here for hundreds of hours. Some of them you don't get because the content shows the music, and it just doesn't allow it online. So it's pretty good. And I'm going to change the definition here. If my mom looks at it on her phone, it'll still say 1, and it says another 2 people on there. Because there's a lot more people than just that. You know, it's not just him watching. It says 0 for me. I can't. I don't have my camera set up for Logitech. And the old man always wanted me to do something online, and I did. Because he showed me Tech TV, and that's where I learned when Google, Larry and Sergey, and they had their start. And well, I don't know if they were on Tech TV. They would probably remember Tech TV, and that's when they started Google, and that's when I started using the search engine Google. That was within 30 years, and what year has that been? Probably 03 or so, 04, and the dot-com era and all this, and they're some of the guys directly responsible for that increase in stock market, and they're in there big time, and that's a good thing because they've worked very hard, and that's a different, and that's Alphabet, and that's all good stuff. I never talk bad about companies online. I wouldn't, and Google's awesome, and so things are getting better, but that you know that I did do something online, and this is my online table, and you can be in there. There's a light near me, and the mountain lion is not worried about eating you. Tony's looking like lunch, but he's gonna leave Tony alone because you like Tony. You and him get along, but I think Tony came out here when I was a teenager and just said he's a drug dealer. You gotta keep an eye on me. Well, I was more than just a drug dealer. I was an excellent one of the best small bag dope dealers the world has ever seen. I know that. And the Hells Angels just watched me and stole my trade secrets. And they developed something called what I would call a spy room, where they have all these people sitting around watching in their spying rooms. Like without this on, picture my phone open with an open mic, and they listen on this, listening for different tactics and the way I do things. And they've been using that against me lately, and trying to use that GPS and stuff to get me killed. And the hitmen know it, and I know it. So they seen my quote on my Facebook called Internet Surveillance. I know everything there is to know about Internet Surveillance. And are you internet connected, and is there a GPS tracker in the car? I just had an app in my car. Then Monte Carlo's mine. I own it. I bought it with money that I earned hustling, selling crack at 17. And I put the money in my pocket and I gave it to somebody with my car. And I own it. And that's paid for. And Pat Haynes probably thought it was his car. Pat Haynes ain't in this cave. He's outside. He's in a tower in a different part of the fucking grasslands there. And the crew is not around because they're up in a different area of the den. Or the crew's den. And this other mountain lion, he's going after Valley. And Valley's scared. And he should be, because he's not in this at all. I've worked him for 10 years, like a good Canadian. Because I learned everything there is to know about that man. And he just got braggy. He's a braggart. And no good. And I call him the strudel maker. Just to insult him. And he wants back in that cave. It doesn't matter. Like, you can't just pitch dark out. And then you ain't going to shoot this mountain lion. He's going to sneak up on you like a Australian Special Forces kid. Sneak up on Chris when he's at a campfire and take off his shoelace, and he's never even noticed. So I'm not that either. But I'm just saying, he's a sneaky mountain lion, and he's not the biggest one. The other ones is with the cougars, and there's lots. Don't worry, they're hidden away. They probably sent somebody looking at them from space, and they spy satellites. So they're smart. They know when they're on camera. I swear it. I'm just a Leo, so 22nd, and I'm almost a Virgin. Or Virgo, sorry. I got lots of jokes. And I can be considered an impressive person, but people don't want to believe it, but they know it in their hearts. And Camels have been pacified, basically, of the Hells Angels of Iffy's choosing. Because him and Iffy, Tony and Iffy are in separate corners under the cave, so they're not square corners. They can't look at each other. And they don't serve each other anymore. And there's a bigger mountain lion. He's simply somewhere in the cave too, and I know about him. There's a couple other mountain lions. A couple of them are right behind my throne. Though. It's not a throne. It's just a chair. And I actually sit on a bench seat as a rock. And was Lincoln on a throne or is he on a chair? That's a question for only some people would know. And did someone want that of him after he died, or did he have that set up before he passed? Because he probably didn't. But he's still a beautiful memorial. I've never been there. And I'm not saying anything wrong about it. I just have questions. But I just want to know about why is it called the district and why isn't it a state? And as a Congress, something that the Romans had or the Romans didn't have. And, well, I know the Senate. I'm not going in front of them. Because that wouldn't you know. You're part of a rare, unique bloodline. Dating all the way back to when the Caesar is killed in the Senate. And they stabbed him all over in the back a bunch of times. That's like me and these Hells Angels. They stabbed him in the back constantly. And Daz is rare. Yeah, he's rare, but he's at the table if he wants to be. And the mountain lions mean him no harm. There's a light near me. There's and he can go to Tony, but I would suggest him going. He's looking like an easy meal. And while they're near him, they're there kind of protect him, but he's not protected by Iffy. Iffy's just doing him harm because Iffy's with a cartel that doesn't like him much, and they just it's business for them. And me and my dad are something called business as usual. Iffy and Pat and all those guys are taking care of business, and then they do business their own way. And that's the Tijuana cartel. That's not my way. That's their way. And that's that. And that is that. And so I'm just and there's different cartels that, and they're very violent. And Mexico's a different place. I traveled there by myself. I got 4 of a kind in a hotel, and there's a man. It wasn't there when I got 4 of a kind. I got it basically when I just sat down. A few minutes later, and they probably haven't seen that hand since. And I was against the dealer, and it's almost impossible. And it's a very rare hand. And then I saw him the next day. I didn't make much money out of that. I'm pretty cheap when I gamble, and I'm very cheap when I gamble. But, and I didn't see ACDC down there, but I seen a person with a shirt on, and that was nice. And yeah, I was down there by myself. And well, the ex-wife, she was in LA the day before, and I heard a good song. And well, I was just laid on the couch all the time because I was tired, because it was a tough year when she couldn't work. And that alone grants me the fact that we divorced in 2021, and we did because I sent it by email, and just didn't get to the courthouse because it just didn't, because it must not have, because someone deleted the email, the return email, and that was one of my girlfriends from last year, or this past year and last year. If you're with a man now, well, I promise you, I did send it in 2021, so that's a good song. I know.